The girl eagerly jumped into a coffin. She just wanted to feel the lingering warmth of the body. But little did she know, the dirt truck was slowly driving towards her. The cemetery worker quickly came over to chase her away. Reluctantly, she got up, but just before leaving, she threw a stone at the coffin. It turned out that inside the coffin was her most hated mother. The reason she did this was because her mother used to kneel in front of her, just because Liz had half a month's family meal money in her hands. She knew her mother had ulterior motives, but Liz would always soften in the end and give her the money. Once her mother got the money, she would immediately change and arrogantly provoke her with her eyes. Liz guessed that her mother must have gone to buy illegal substances. What was even more shocking was that her father not only didn't stop her, but also helped her mother make arrangements. Because he, just like her mother, was a full-fledged addict. Despite having both parents, their family could only survive on welfare. When they were hungry, the trash bin was Liz's food source. When they were thirsty, the tap water was her life source. Life was already tough enough, but then the police suddenly showed up. Without a word, they surrounded her mother and forcibly injected her with a sedative. It turned out that Liz's father, for his own pleasure, had reported her mother to the reform center. Watching her mother struggle in pain, her father remained cold and indifferent, casually flipping through a magazine. Only Liz could feel the immense pain her mother was enduring. She watched as her mother was taken away in a police car. Realizing that her mother didn't want to be a bad mom, she just couldn't manage it at the moment. The only thing Liz could do was go back to school and wait for her mother's return. But when she entered the classroom, she was immediately rejected by her classmates because she was wearing torn clothes, had fleas in her hair, and hadn't changed her undergarments. The strong smell made it impossible for her classmates to keep their eyes open. To avoid ridicule, Liz had to go to class just to get by, hoping the holiday would come soon. But when the holidays finally arrived, the school happened to have its final exam. The teacher was worried that the smell would affect the students' performance, so she tried to make an excuse to send Liz out of the room. But to everyone's surprise, Liz found the exam questions extremely easy. She insisted on taking the exam. The teacher didn't say anything further, but when the results came out, her attitude changed drastically. She no longer cared about Liz's smell, and even brought her a bunch of brand-name clothes. It turned out Liz had scored a perfect 100. The teacher was confused and asked how she did it. Liz casually responded that she had read many books, though they were from the trash bins collected by her neighbor Eva. The knowledge in those books still taught her a lot. The teacher immediately realized that this girl was undoubtedly a genius, so she seriously warned Liz, "Next semester, you must come to school every day. If you don't, I will call the authorities. This is not a joke. I am serious." And finally, the teacher reminded her to take care of her hygiene because the smell was just as strong. But Liz wanted to bathe every day. The bathtub at home, however, was already filled with dirty water. The drain was completely clogged, just like her miserable life. With no way out, how could she live like a normal person? But what Liz couldn't believe was that, just a short time later, she would manage to get into Harvard in under 2 years and become a well-known speaker in the United States.